What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So this is day 4 for us. We're back at the industrial complex. So yeah, it's the next day for me, but it'll probably be about a week for you guys. But yeah, today we are carrying on with the mains. I'm a bit limited. I'm missing a few bits of trunking that's going to hold me up, but there's still a bit to get on with. And Cam's just getting some circuits in and stuff from the lifter still. I've just been going through the diary, so because it's completely open book, every day we're listing, you know, the time we're spending here, what we've been doing and that sort of stuff for the client. But then on the flip side as well, we're just keeping super organised. You know, it's a big project, so every day there's new materials needed, we're finding out new things, we're sort of validating as we go, so that all gets jotted down in this book and keeps us really organised. My boss can come at any time, get a real good handle on, you know, what we've been doing and what we're looking at just by flicking through a few pages of a book. I've always tried to be very organised, even just from an apprentice. It gives a good impression to the people you work for, and you know, even your company as well. And yeah, it makes your life a lot easier as well. You know, you've got a diary, a record of what you've been doing, so it can cover you in some circumstances as well. Speaking of being organised, this video is sponsored by Tradify. So Tradify is a job management software. I've spoken about it many times before, but yeah, just want to plug it again. It's a great bit of software. I use it as a self-employed electrician who subs for the same company, and I get loads of benefits from it. You know, sending regular invoices, invoice templates, chasing my invoices as well, keeping track of where I've been, what I've been doing for my invoices, and all that sort of stuff. But if you're a self-employed electrician who works for yourself, you've got loads of clients, you get a heap of additional benefits. So, you know, you can look at a job, you can then send a quote, you can then invoice, and then turn that into a final job report, all through the same, you know, sort of system. Again, it keeps a record of all of that as well. If you've got multiple employees, you can track and trace and see where they are, what they're doing on a map, and yeah, hold your clients accountable, chase invoices. You know, you can set prescribed times and stuff like that. You can have quote templates as well, so you can set up a quote template for like a board change, for instance, or, you know, a call out and stuff like that. So it just makes you, you know, quick getting these invoices through and stuff, get these quotes through. So yeah, loads of benefits, and it gets you super organised. I've actually got a code, so use code residual. I'll put the link to their website, Tradify HQ. But yeah, you can use code residual to get 50% off 3 months. And there's a free trial as well, so jump on a free trial, trial it out. If you like it, then yeah, use code residual to get 50 months, get 50% of 3 months. But yeah, anyway, let's get into the video. Before we do, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. Really supports what I'm doing, and it means you guys, if you're liking the content, you never go miss a video. Let's get to it. So if you remember in the last video, we got this board mounted and prepped. So today I'm just going to carry on. We're going to get the trunking mounted around the board. I'm missing this T here where it's going to tee across. I'm hoping I'm going to look at the specs, but it should be the same sort of flange, same sort of distances. So I should be able to replicate what I do down here with the 90 up there for the T. And do that bit too, and then hopefully it's just a case of slotting it in. It's not always that simple, but I just want to try to get as much done as possible. We're going to remove these plates and put a Paxlin spacer in there. So if you don't know, Paxlin's like a fire retardant material. It's been used in distribution for decades. I got taught from as an apprentice to use it and stuff like that. It's a real good material. It is a carcinogenic though, so yeah, make sure you're wearing PPE when you're using it, you're cutting it outdoors or in a well ventilated area, and yeah, use disposable gloves, use a mask, face fitted mask and stuff like that. There is alternatives to Paxlin as well. One of them's from Ireland, I can't remember what it's called, but it's super expensive, and we just couldn't get it in time. I'll try and remember, I'll put it in the description if I find out, but it's spec'd on the underground a lot actually. But it's a cool material. It's sort of the modern equivalent to it. But yeah, it's just, it's quite new, I guess. It's quite hard to get hold of. There is also another one, a fiberglass material, which someone mentioned in the last video. So I'll put that below as well, because it'd be nice for people to try them and let them know. I'll try them in the future as well, now I know about them. You can see it's about 8mm thick, 7mm thick. But yeah, you can see it's It's like a plasticky wood material. I think there's a lot of resin involved. But yeah, it's real nice stuff. It smells amazing when you cut it. Yeah, that's going to get cut into sheets. So what's great about these boards is they come with these internal lips. So we're still going to use Paxlin anyway, but we can use that as a template basically for our Paxlin. And then when we cut the similar slot within the trunking, we just oversize it so that the metal is not visible, and therefore, you know, it's not going to be an issue of cable scraping on it or anything like that. The Paxlin, I tried to just keep exactly the same. You don't really want a lip because it's quite a tight gap anyway, especially for a board this size. We're doing top entry as well, but yeah, I like to give the biggest gap that you can really when you're just relying on top and bottom entry. Sometimes these boards I do come through the side, but I don't really like to. I find them a bit flimsy, and yeah, I just feel like you're chewing away at the integrity of the board, as obviously these have been purposely designed to sort of do what we're going to do with it. So yeah, still waiting on the SPD. So yeah, that's going to be fitted at a later date. And then when I can do the SPD and all that, I'll do these buzz bar links and talk them all up properly and sort of show you all that. But yeah, for now we'll get cutting this Paxlin. Right, so I've just unbolted this bottom panel. The holes we're not going to use just because they're threaded within the board to accept these screws. So when we drill them out, they might not be perfectly aligned with this panel anymore. So what we'll do is once the Paxlin's cut, we'll drill these out and then slide the Paxlin in there where we want it, mark them after we've drilled the holes out so that we've got the true positions of the holes, and then we'll drill the Paxlin out to suit that. All 6 holes we'll use just to give us a nice tight seal around the bottom of the board, and then we'll do the same amount of holes in the same positions on the trunking below as well. So eventually you'll have 5 or 6 gutter bolts poking through the trunking, the Paxlin, and then the board, just bolting it all together, doing a real nice job. I also like to make one of them a brass bolt. So this used to get spec'd on a lot of projects, and I've just carried the habit on basically. So I'm just going to take this into this corner here, make sure there's a pretty good edge on this cut, to be fair. And then that is that one. So we're going to be going to the inside of the line. And along. So I don't actually know, I always use wood blades. It takes nowhere near as long, but yeah, if you know what the best blade is for Paxlin, please do let me know. So we went a little bit off, but that's why it's nice to use the manufactured ends and just make sure your sides are okay. The problem with Paxlin is it does that, so without any dust extraction, it's quite hard to maintain visibility. You don't want to be obviously blowing it because then you won't have your mask on. So yeah, it's just one of them, but luckily I can hide that edge at the back of the board. So yeah, I'm just going to cut this other one, and then yeah, we'll template them up for the cuts inside. So that's it. Run round inside, like so. And that's just going to leave us with a nice mark to then cut round. And then we just want to put a little arrow, which will be hidden. And that will show us that it's this way up and it's facing that way, because obviously one side's deeper than the other. So yeah, I'll just do the same for the one up top, and then we'll go out and we'll cut these. Right, so that's the internals cut out now. So now we'll size them up with the top and bottom. See how well I did. It hasn't got to be perfect anyway, but you know, it's nice to get it nice and neat. If you, I find, if obviously the Hager boards have got the templated pre-cuts in the carcass of the board, you just remove those panels. But in other boards, you have to obviously make that slot as well. So generally you'd use 2 hole saws either side and then line them through to make them to make the slots, and then you can obviously transfer that over. You can use the hole saws on the Paxlin too. It can leave a neater finish just because getting an angle on a jigsaw is always fun anyway, but especially in Paxlin. Yeah, I don't think hole saws deal with Paxlin too well anyway, so it can leave with a rougher cut as well, so it swings and roundabouts. But yeah, we'll size these up, get the holes templated, and then yeah, we're on to the trunking. So that's top, this is bottom. So that is pretty sweet. Cool, I'm happy with that one. We'll have a look at the top one. Overshot a little bit on one of the bends, but like I say, it's hard to get them perfect. But yeah, decent. I'm happy with that too. So the only thing I'll mention is here we're matching as best as we can. We're matching the slot that's obviously been pre-cut. If you would cut that slot yourself, you would overshoot the Paxlin so that the cables can run against the Paxlin. Obviously Hager leave a nice flange, nice smooth edge, so we're not too worried about that. We just want the spacer provided by the Paxlin, and obviously it's fire retardant too, so just a note that you would obviously want to overshoot it if you were using that for your cables to rub against, but we're not too worried about that, which is why I tried to match the opening as best as possible. So I'm just going to pilot these holes out so that I can get a nice 6mm bolt through them, like so. Right, so now we just want to check these, so it's good to get the right way around. That helps massively, and then it's good to get basically 1 or 2. What am I doing? I'm missing that hole completely. Get 1 or 2 of these in just to stop it moving around, basically. Just loosely done up, and then get 1 in there. We'll get 1 over the other side. Get that through. Get that tight, but you know, finger tight. And then just grab another roofer and just check that you're not going to have any issues, which we have, but that one was a bit. There we go. So that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice, sweet. So that one's got a bit of play in it. We just want to favour that side. But yeah, so that's sweet. And then yeah, just do the same with the other one. This is just basically confirming that when you drill your trunking out and you know you're all ready to go, you don't realise like, you know, the holes don't line up, and then you're not having to, you know, re-drill and mess around. It's just a seamless sort of process that way.
If you're calling about a power cut, a flickering supply, Damage help with general maintenance to our network. Please press 2. For new... In a few words, please tell us what you're calling about.
Isolation of supply.
Thank you. To assist us with your inquiry, we would like to know the postcode you are calling about. As an example... Good afternoon, you're speaking to UK Power Networks. How can I help?
Hi, I'm at a large industrial complex. We need to isolate the main panel just to do some works basically for the client. But the panel is fed directly off of a transformer, which is the client's transformer. But the said transformer is only isolated via one of your high voltage switches in a substation adjacent to it. So we just wanted to, know your lead times and stuff like that, and so that we can either book you in today or look nearer the time to book you in.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, what happens is I can I take all the details and then I email the isolation team.
Yeah.
So it's and then they'll contact you directly. If I take, is it 18? Is that where you are?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, let me just...
Previously had some works here due to an incident that happened, so there should be a case open around it as well, or a closed case anyway.
Oh, that's Thames Water, sorry, hang on.
Yeah, that's next to it. So we had you out, I think the police had you out, and then we had you out following that to isolate before.
All right.
And then,
yeah. Are you Michael Burgess?
I'm Mike.
No?
I'm Mike, but I work for Burgess Electrical.
Okay.
So that's probably it.
Yeah, I can see we've done something back in March.
That's it, yeah.
Who has a number of the... So you say it's a transformer, is it a substation that you've got there?
It's a substation. There is a transformer as well, but I believe that's client side, so you don't have any reference on that. I did take a picture, so I'm going to try and find that, but worst case I'll just have to go for a walk in the rain. And
oh, no, that's okay. Oh, is it raining where you are?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And they'll contact Johnny there and get that organised. All right, my love.
Smashing, no worries. Thank you very much.
It's okay, no worries at all.
Right, so that was just a necessary call that needed to be made to UK Power Networks. It's their disconnections team or their faults team. Because the transformer is although the transformer is client side, it's fed via a couple of HV switches, which are UKPN's property. So we do have a HV specialist that we can use. He is actually authorised as well to operate on DNO equipment, but just due to the nature of the business and stuff that's happened here in the past, we just want to go the right way and do it, within the case that's already open and stuff with UKPN. So, yeah, they're going to get back to us. Like they said, there is normally a form and a process you go through, but yeah, we only got okayed on the job a week ago. They weren't interested until obviously the job's okayed, sort of thing. It's a chicken and an egg situation. So yeah, now we've called them. Hopefully it's pretty smooth sailing. Obviously we're aiming for next Friday, but we'll just have to see what happens. It's a little bit out of our hands, but you can only ask a lot of the time with these guys. If you ask, you will receive. So yeah, now we were just having some lunch. I just had to make that phone call, but now I'm going to carry on with the board. I'm going to start measuring all the trunking up and cutting the necessary pieces to just wrap around the bottom of the board. So yeah, we'll get started on that. We want to be here, and then we want our bolt at about 500. So 500 from the edge of the board to our fixings. So we'll just call it 500 in general. No, let's not. What's that? 20 mil off the end, so 2, so about there. So now I'm going to chuck my PPE on, cut this with the jigsaw now. I'll probably use the nice end to marry up with the manufactured bend and use this end for my end cap. We'll see how it comes out, but it's normally pretty good with a jigsaw, to be fair. So I'll go get set up and we'll cut that. pretty good cut, to be fair, if I do say so myself. So I'm just going to file that now, dip it in Galv spray, start letting it dry. In the meantime, I might try template the holes for the end cap. And then yeah, we can start sizing that up at the bottom of the board and marking our slot that we're going to put within it. Full coverage, so we'll just leave that to dry for a sec, and then we're probably going to need, we're going to need a bit exactly the same length just for where the T is going to form at the top of the board. So I'll cut another bit, we'll do all that, and then I'll Galv spray that. Hopefully they'll be dry pretty quick, and then I can show you the rest of the process. Cool. Leave that there to dry. Hopefully this one's okay now. Yeah, good enough. So now I just want to see how an end cap looks in this end that I've cut. Hopefully it looks pretty good, and then that means that we can use the nice manufactured end for the bend, just because you want that to, it's easy to hide an off cut. I mean that's bang on anyway, but it's easier to hide a cut made by us with an end cap rather than with a bend, just in my experience. But yeah, we'll have a look at that now. The easiest way I find to pilot these holes is to basically do this, which is where you have the lip sitting on the wrong side of the trunking, so that you can literally just bang a Sharpie mark through. So on this side, make sure you're all in where you want to be, and then boom, boom, cool. Yeah, the Galv spray is going to need to touch up. I'm going to have to touch these holes up anyway. Normally on a bigger job, we'd have like a Galv brush going if we was doing a lot of metal munching, but yeah, I'll probably just dip like a bolt in it and then put the bolt through the hole, and then it'll transfer over. But yeah, first, so the camera died in true residual fashion, but yeah, I was just basically saying about the Galv spray not being quite dry, but to be honest, I'm going to have to touch up anyway, just where yeah, I'm drilling these holes and stuff. So yeah, I've just drilled one. I'm just doing a 4mm. I'm just doing a 5mm hole for these 4mm screws that basically go through and bite into these pre-made sort of threads in these end caps. So yeah, I'll just drill them out so we can get the end cap mounted. So yeah, I mean it's proper overkill, don't get me wrong. Like, I've done many a containment job without doing this, but it's just little stuff I've picked up along the way. Little nice things that you can do to just try and, you know, give the containment the best chance possible. You know, having a decent lifespan. You know. I mean, these warehouses, they're not exposed to the elements, but they're cold, they're damp, you know. So yeah, it's just giving it a good opportunity, really, to sort of survive. But yeah, I just need to get rid of that bar. Tuck this in. See how well we did. Pretty good by all accounts. So just get these threaded through, and there you go. So we've got our end cap there in, ready to go. So yeah, now we'll size this up with the rest of the board. yeah, we'll just get this in. There should be a bag somewhere. There we go. And in that bag should be the screws. Lovely. So, sit in there. So this has actually got a lip built into it, which is why I wanted to keep it, keep the manufactured end this end basically, because it's just all going to marry up really, really nicely. Of course, I could re-drill the holes, but yeah, the machinists at Unitrunk will do a far better job than I ever will. So yeah, let's get those in, give it a little tighten. Should really get the cline on it. What's that? So that's an 8, so which means it's got to be a 7. So spin that round. There we go. Look at that, that's spot on. There we go. Just redo these. Right, so that's in there now, looking sweet. So I'm just going to size this up on the bottom of the board. And these screws, if I've done my maths, should sit, yeah, bang on. So the screws are literally just a couple of mil off the board either side, which basically means this trunking is as tight as it can be to the board. So yeah, now I want to mark up my uni in the back, and also mark up my trunking. So let's mark out these holes here. Let's mark out that. There we go. And then I can keep that tight. We just want to mark our uni centres, which is one there, and there's one there. You know, you could measure it obviously, but it's easy enough to just eye it up like so. Yeah, so drill out these holes, cut that slot out, and then we've also got a mark on the bottom that we can then line up the back to drill our 2 holes for the trunking to be bolted through into the unistrut. So yeah, we'll start drilling and cutting. So I want to grab the other end cap so I can just use that as a brace again, just while I'm applying a load of pressure. It's more to this open edge basically, because I'm going to be applying a load of pressure. I'm going to get my glasses on, and then we'll drill this lot out. So then now, while we've got the drill out, we'll do the holes for the zebs. So I basically just want to transfer that centre mark along here. Nice big line, because no one's ever going to see this again until they come and strip it out. 30mm in there, 30mm in there, 7 and 11, 7 and 11. Cool. Same again. Okay. Right, so now we want to do our slot. Now this is going to be fun, because I'm going to jig the whole lot. Like I said, you can do hole saws, but yeah, we're not too bothered about that. What I am going to do though is I'm going to be real tight to these holes, so I just want to be cautious of that. What I'm going to do, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to get a bigger drill than this, say this 8mm one, and then I'm just going to fire a pilot hole through in the centre. This drill's seen a lot more action than the other ones, but they're really good bits actually, these Bosch ones. That's what I always tend to go for. I go for them pretty quick, but yeah, they're good. So now I've already got my metal blade set up. That's ready to go. That's got enough charge. So yeah, I'm basically going to eye it up, because again, it's not going to be seen, but that's not an excuse. But just try keep as straight as I can. I'm not going on this line, I'm going about 5mm past it, because like I say, we want this to be bigger than the opening in the board on the Paxlin. So yeah, I'm going to go as close to these sort of holes within reason as I can. Right, so we got there in the end. I'm going to have to tidy that up obviously, but we're just going to size it up first. Lovely. So the main objective is of course to have no metal visible and the holes to line up, and yeah, we're sweet. So that's spot on. So now I'm going to tidy up this slot, treat it with Galv spray and what have you, and then once it's dried we'll get all this bolted through, we'll get our zebs in and stuff, and I'll show you it all together. So now I've just taped this up. It's very rough, just to stop the Galv spray going absolutely everywhere, but you know, you're still going to get a bit of overspray. So this is just to protect this inner compartment where I've yeah, hacked it away basically. So yeah, I'm just going to finish off getting a few more little burrs off, and then I'll spray it all up. So there you go, I'm just going to wait for this to dry, then we'll peel all that off. Again, it's not perfect, do you know what I mean? I'm not completely making sure every single damage to the Galv is covered, but it's a lot better effort than, you know, most would do, and it's given it a much better chance compared to, you know, just leaving it basically. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. That's all covered, all the holes have been done and stuff. These holes have just had another coat as well where some of them are still exposed. But yeah, all the ones on the back as well have all been done and what have you. So yeah, we'll just let that dry, we'll peel all the tape off, and then yeah, we'll start getting that mounted. I gave it a few minutes, probably not enough because I'm really impatient, but I'm just going to start the peel anyway, because it's at a point now where it'll peel. Needs a bit more time to dry, but it'll still peel without ruining the spray. So we'll just peel these off one by one. Oh, they'll come off together now. So yeah, still a bit of overspray, but no one's going to see it, but it just means it's not gone everywhere basically, and everywhere inside the trunking too. There we go. So yeah, I'll give that still a couple more minutes to dry and sort its life out, and then yeah, we will get it mounted under the DB. I've got my zebs roughly positioned. I'm going to get that out of the way. I'm going to get the trunking screwed to the zebs, and then that means I haven't got to have a third hand basically trying to hold the trunking. So I'll do that, and then we'll get the Paxlin slid in and bolt it all through. So that's about where we want it, and it's looking good. So I'll just get the Paxlin, this in, there we go. That slid in there. And then should all line up. He says, no pressure. Let's get you in. Yeah, interesting. It didn't quite line up, to be honest with you, which is no one else's fault but my own. I think it's where the trunking is sat on the uni, and the uni's not right. Well, the uni's straight. This panelling is all on the wonk. So where I've pushed against it really hard to then mark it all up, obviously I'm not pushing against it really hard now. You see these panels, it just got loads of flexing. So yeah, it is what it is, it happens. I just had to do a bit of persuading with the drill, masked up, so I'm going to hoover this all out now. These are just in finger tight. That's my earthing one there, and then just a load of roofers in here, just loose. So I'm going to tighten all them up, and then yeah, that is it basically. As you can see, you've got your Paxlin, you've got your trunking bolted through it. Again, these are loose, I'll tighten them up in a sec. These are screwed back to the uni there. And then along the front, you've just got this nice lip. So yeah, and then it overhangs. That's going to rise up and across. So I'm going to tighten all that up, and then yeah, you'll see it in all of its glory once it's all hoovered out. So here we go, the finished product. So yeah, nice horizontal bit of trunking, and then it's just bolted through there. I don't do penny washers here. One, you wouldn't get them there anyway, but two, I like those to match the others. We've got a brass bolt there just for what I said before about the earthing, and yeah, it's completely sealed. So yeah, that's sweet. And then in here, you're either on the metal or you're on the Paxlin lip. So yeah, I like to. Some people have the Paxlin, you know, in. I find that if on the hager board anyway, if you match your slip, you maximise your space. But yeah, also Paxlin can look quite rough. The cut edges can. So yeah, you minimise them and keep them hidden as possible. Then yeah, I think it looks better. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to do the same up top now. So yeah, it's slow moving. Obviously I've been flitting between this and helping Cam just because he's pulling in armouds on his own and wrestling with them and stuff. So, you know, it's not like I've been dedicated to this all day and stuff. So yeah, you know, it's slow moving, but that's the nature of the job. There's just two of us and a lot to do. So yeah, I'm trying to keep this ticking over, but also try to keep him ticking over and getting the circuits in and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with the top bit, and then I'll probably catch up with you then. Right, so that's that top bit of trunking done. It's all looking pretty sweet. I'll show you more tomorrow, but we're going to call it a day for the video for today. Still got a bit of time. I'm just going to be over there helping Cam and stuff, but as far as the video is concerned, we're gonna cut it here. But yeah, that's done. I'm waiting for the tea, which I'm going to grab tonight so I can come down. And then we'll come up across and we'll mount the contactor enclosure. This can get put away in there as well. It's slow progress on here, just flitting between this and then on the mute, pulling in cables, flitting back. It's not moving as quick as I'd like it to, but yeah, that's just sort of the way it is, to be honest with you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, guys, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Check out Traderify as well. The link will be in the description. Check out my tool shop, loadout.shop as well. And yeah, I'll catch you next Sunday, 6 o'clock. I'll see you then.